Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new series. I am the Rat, and this is the Rat's Nest. As I said in my little intro, I believe this is going to be a new little series I'll be doing here on my YouTube channel, and I believe that I'm going to call it So I've Been Reading, or SIBR for, for short. The first installment of this is Bleach. So I've been reading Bleach. And I have been. I've been reading a couple series. Bleach is just the most recent one. And I needed a video for this Wednesday because Chainsaw Man is on break. And so I just wanted to make a quick little video giving some of my thoughts on it. So I have now read the first two arcs of Bleach again. The Substitute arc and the Soul Society arc. I believe there are 5 arcs. I've read the first 2. And my history with Bleach personally is that I have watched it before. I've watched these first 2 arcs and a bit of the third one, the Oran car or something I think I read. I've watched those 2 arcs like from the anime, and this was back years ago, at least probably around 6 years at this point. Wow, yeah. Probably around 6 years at this point is whenever I watched Bleach for the first time. And back then I wasn't a huge shonen fan. I actually watched the first 60 episodes, I think it was, over the course of 2 days, which holds the record for most I've ever binged, and I will never break that record. I really don't intend to, because it was miserable, kind of. But I've always remembered Bleach as a series that I liked, and on our other channel, go check us out. It'll be linked in the description for Goobers and Screens, where I have with my friends and we play video games. I also have a series very similar to content that I put out on this channel over there, where it is our book club. It is my Goobers and Screens book club. I do that with my friend Kyle, who features here on my Chainsaw Man and One Piece chapter reviews. But over there, starting soon, will be a book club series for Hunter x Hunter, which I have been reading through. I'm not currently caught up yet. We're waiting to record the 7th arc as of the time of recording this video, but that'll be out. I think that's coming out in like October. But we're reading, or we have read, I've been reading Hunter x Hunter, and he's already read it. And after Hunter x Hunter, our series is going to be Bleach. And so I wanted to, read up on it a little bit, just make sure, is it still good? Like, is it worth reading? And I have absolutely loved it. I intended to just read the first arc, but I remember liking Soul Society a lot. And oh my gosh, do I love Soul Society. I can't get into too many details. I don't have my notes, and this was just meant to be more of a general video. But Bleach is it's a very good series. I mean, at least currently with the first 2 arcs, I'm not going to put it on like a masterpiece level, like I would put, for example, the Shibuya arc from Jujutsu Kaisen or Marineford from One Piece. But I really enjoyed Soul Society. And, I mean, Substitute arc was good as well. But Soul Society is where Bleach kind of really becomes Bleach, and we get introduced to a lot of the familiar elements that I myself remember. And it's also just longer. It's easier to get attached to things whenever they're longer like that. Getting to be reintroduced to this world and these characters, it was so much fun, and getting to the characters be like, yo, I know him, I remember him, and getting to remember everything. I remember, like, the big thing, I could not remember the name of Ichigo Senpakuto, and then it said Zangetsu. I was like, oh yeah, there it is. And I remembered a lot of things. I didn't remember Uryu's name. I remembered Orihime and Chad and all them, but I did not remember Uryu. I'm going to be waiting a bit before I start the next arc. But Soul Society, man, that was so good. I felt like all the fights, I mean, this is just me personally. Ichigo is my favorite character. And so his different fights, first against, I can't remember his name, the 3rd seat from 11th Company, and then his fight against Kenpachi. I will say, look, power scaling. You know me, a big power scaling guy. I love power scaling. But, it was interesting to see Ichigo's growth throughout this, and kind of knowing a little bit of what comes next. Knowing he's about to get even stronger. It's cool. I like Rukia. I think she's a good character. I will say, near the end, I did notice a bit like, okay, well, she's just kind of a damsel in distress. She's never been like a combat character, but I I was like, I don't care, but it was something I noticed, So to say that she's like a good character, yeah, I like her. Objectively, I don't know what I can say about that. But I thought it was a really good arc. I felt like a lot of the things people might criticize were addressed. Kenpachi being the first captain defeated, I feel like that was fair because he didn't know the name of his Zanpakuto, so he couldn't release it. It was just going off of spiritual pressure, and obviously he didn't have Bankai either. So I think him being the first captain to be defeated is fair and makes sense. I really enjoyed relearning about Kisuke. I remembered Yoriichi and all that, but I couldn't remember much about Kisuke. I knew he was a Soul Reaper. I couldn't remember. And then once I heard, oh yeah, he is the former captain of the 12th Company. It was just so much fun to go through and see these fights again. And then Ichigo, whenever he rescues Rukia in his fight versus Byakuya, I thought that was great. I absolutely love his hollow side and how he deals with that. In terms of shonen I've read that deal with like, oh, I'm being possessed by something, I definitely think Ichigo's hollow is kind of top tier there. Now, of course, my most recent foray with that has been Black Clover. And without getting into spoilers, I was not a fan of it. If you like Black Clover, I hope you take that comment personally. I just wasn't a huge fan of it, but I really enjoyed Ichigo's hollow kind of holding out there. I will say, I think the fights were probably better in the anime, but that's typically the case, right? The fights are typically always better in the anime, at least whenever the anime has good pacing. The One Piece might be the exception of that, except for certain cases. But yeah, it was just super solid getting to, just remembering everything, getting back into it. I'm really looking forward to reading the next arc again, but it's just like, man, because I kind of have to wait for Kyle. I don't know. I might not. I might go ahead and read it. But regardless, it was so much fun. I will say one difference I noticed is I think in the anime, at least during the Kenpachi fight, it was established that captains can change their Zanpakuto size because they have so much spiritual energy, it'd be too big. That's probably going to get revealed whenever Ichigo's dad kills Grand Fisher, because he revealed it to him in the anime. But I think I remember that being Kenpachi who told that to Ichigo, and that was the first time we see that. Ichigo's Zanpakuto, whenever I first started rereading Bleach through the substitute arc, I was like, I thought I remembered it looking different, and then he learned its name and it got its shape. I was like, okay, yeah, there it is. There's just so many cool moments. I loved being reintroduced to the Soul Society and all the captains and everything. Aizen, I don't know too much about him as a villain because I'm only a little bit into the Arankar arc. But I'm really looking forward to learning more about him and to just reading more of Bleach and being in this world and being with these characters more. The one thing that maybe I disliked about Soul Society is, I don't know, just some of the side fights. I wish they would go more in depth onto Chad and Orihime's powers as to like how they work and why they work. Because you want to have like spirit energy, which I think is like the power system here. Soul Reapers who use the spirit energy as Zanpakuto, Bankai, all that. And then you have Uryu, who's a Quincy, and he makes sense. It's like, okay, well, the Soul Reapers use the soul energy in themselves. Quincy's use the soul energy from around them. They're humans that develop these powers. It's like, why can Chad punch good? Why does Orihime have these? I don't know. Hopefully it'll be gone over. I don't know. I have heard that the ending of Bleach is a bit rushed. But I am loving the journey, and I think that's the important thing to take from this. So yeah, be on the lookout for Bleach Book Club, which should be starting the end of October, according to our video schedule we have up on Goobers and Screens. Hunter x Hunter Book Club will be starting soon. Before that airs, I will post another one in this So I've Been Reading series of Hunter x Hunter. I can't say exactly where this series is going to go after I read Arc 3 after I read the Arankar arc of Bleach. If I do that on my own time, I'll make another one for Bleach. But this, I read a lot of stuff, and if I don't want to do a full review of it, I can just do this for the arcs. And if you're this far in the video, there's obviously something that you like, so maybe like and subscribe and hug your dog. And I will see you in the next video on Sunday. Bye-bye.